Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? Warm, I know, but you're doing surprisingly well for being as warm as it is. You must have been to Metropolis before for a Superman celebration. Let's bring up some guests, shall we? Now, our first guest is a singer and dancer who's worked with two Superman and a Superboy, played her own mother, sort of, in Superman the movie. She's getting her own statue right here in town. She's been given the key to the city, and we've given her the key to our hearts. Here's the First Lady of Metropolis, Noel Neill. Our next guest was featured in the first appearance of George Reeves as Superman in Superman and the Mole Men, and a few years later co-starred as George's daughter in Heart of Gold. She's appeared in numerous classic films and TV series, including Old Yeller, The Lone Ranger, The Greatest Show on Earth, and on an episode of the original Star Trek series. Fondly known as television's first child star and America's sweetheart, here's the delightful Beverly Washburn. Now, our next guest also appeared on the original Star Trek TV series, as well as Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. In addition to his on-screen work, you've heard his distinctive voice in the animated series Legion of Superheroes, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. On TV, you've seen him as the smooth-talking Jackie Childs on Seinfeld, and co-starring with Wanda Sykes on Wanda at Large. He's got a mind-blowing comic book collection, and I agree with him that the Enterprise should have gotten a hero's welcome. Here's Smallville's Martian Manhunter, Phil Moore. And born right here in the state of Illinois, our next guest was on the daytime drama Passions for 3 years. This may take a while, you might want to just kind of hang on. Before being cast as Aquaman in a pilot for the CW. Soon after, he was cast as another iconic DC hero in Smallville. And if you think that Jackie Child is a smooth talker, Justin convinced Warner Bros. To let him take the Queen Industries private jet for the weekend to get here. I'm just kidding, that's okay. Here's Oliver Queen himself, Smallville's Green Arrow, Justin Hartley. I think I'm going to go get a sandwich while they're finishing that up, okay? I think I got it. Okay, folks, we're going to keep it nice and simple here. It's going to be question and answers, questions from you, answers from them. Very simple. Let's try and, you know what? I'll tell you what, let's do something official first, though, shall we? You got a little something?
I do, Stephen. I know you guys want to get to the questions. We'll make this really quick, but when you're in Metropolis, we have a special award that we like to give out, and we really appreciate the guests coming in and being with us here today, and I know you especially appreciate that. So I have here with me, my name is Carla Ogle. I'm one of the co-chairs of the celebration. I have Lisa Gower. She's also co-chair. And then I have Angie Shelton. She's our tourism director, and she does all the marketing for the celebration. Go ahead. One of the awards that we like to give out is, when you're in Metropolis, you get the Superman of Metropolis Award. So, Beverly Washburn, You are now a Superman of Metropolis. We don't have Supergirl, so you're going to have to just Superman of Metropolis.
Thank you so much.
Oh, go ahead.
This is such an honor. Thank you so very much. This means a lot to me.
And Mr. Phil Morris, you are now a Superman of Metropolis. I'm sure that the ladies already think Justin is the Superman of Metropolis, but we're going to make it official with this award. Now, I've not left Noel out on purpose here. She's had Superman of Metropolis awards, and as Stephen mentioned, she's had the key to the city. She's going to get a statue. We're just running out of things to give her, but last year, I know you all know that we set the record for the most people dressed as Superman. Mr. Stephen Kirk, he got that going and set it up for us, and then we had 122 people that set that record officially. And we have for Noel, I don't know if anybody was here last year, but she's the one, she was the official starter. She waved the red cape and she got the official time going. So Noel, we're pretty sure you don't already have one of these. We have an official Guinness World Record certificate for this record. So unless you set some records we're not sure about, this should be the only one that you have. So Mr. Stephen Kirk, if you would, please take it from here.
Thank you very much. And once again, about the Guinness stuff, now, if any of you were here last year and participated in the Guinness event, the Chamber has graciously made available to you copies of certificates. So if you haven't picked one up yet, you can head on down to the Chamber and get yours anytime throughout the weekend. And thanks for participating in that last year. Let's get started. I don't suppose anybody has any questions for these guys, do you? Can you see any hands out there? Excellent, okay. Sir, red shirt, red hat, the Flash. We got a microphone coming back towards you. And I know the initial impulse is, can I please just have a hug from Justin? You know, I'm going to have to say right now, we're not doing any of those today. I'm sorry, guys. You're welcome.
How you doing, Mr. Morris, Mr. Hartley? As you know, in the acting business, there's a lot of work to like network and get to know people, know who you got to communicate with. I am an actor in LA and also in Nashville, and I like to promote myself. So personally, I got business cards. I want to see. I want to be on Smallville. I want to be on Smallville. But I could either be the Green Arrow's jet fighter pilot, or I could be Mr. Morris's Puerto Rican Martian cousin. So anyway, I've done a lot of independent work, commercials, music videos, so on. I have business cards. I just want to see if I can get my card out to you, send it out to the casting directors and so forth.
Give me your card.
All right.
You know, I was so worried about the guys and girls wanting to come up for the hugs and kisses and stuff, I forgot about the whole, can you help me get in the show business part? And I'm sorry, Now that we've got those two things out of the way, how about some more questions? I see a little fellow with a black and silver Superman shirt right there. What do you got for me, buddy?
This is the Green Arrow. In Smallville, do you really like Lois Lane in real life too?
We're friends. We're friends. Yeah, we're both married, you know, to different people. But yeah, she's lovely. She's great. My wife's actually here.
Which has absolutely nothing to do with the way he answered his question, by the way.
Good question.
All right, next question. Fellow with the hat on backwards with his head. Yes, that's the one right there.
First of all, Phil, loved you in Meet the Spartans. Yeah. Fantastic. And to Mr. Hartley, is there any truth to the rumors of a Green Arrow spinoff after season 9 of Smallville?
You know, I don't know. Some people talk about it, and I always just kind of say, you know, that right now I'm doing Smallville, and it's you know, I think it's not something that I would, you know, want to spend my time thinking about when I'm doing Smallville. I think it would be kind of a disservice to my Green Arrow on Smallville. So I'm just focusing on that right now.
I think I speak for us all when I say we would love to see that happen.
So has the makeup department ever laid the goatee on you to see how it would look? Was that ever an option for the? Did you?
I don't know. I hope not.
All right, next question. Who's got a question? That lovely young lady with the black T-shirt, her hand right up. Yes, ma'am.
No. I saw that skit with Tom Selleck last night. He's so good looking. Is he as nice as he appears to be?
Of course he is. Incidentally, I should get a business card as I've never been on Showtime either. I mean, Smallville.
That is something that's long overdue, having Noel on Smallville, don't you think?
I don't think you need a business card. I'm going to call him immediately.
Gentleman with the blue hat and the white shirt and waving furiously back there.
Thank you very much. Mr. Morris.
Yes, sir.
Did you come into acting to follow your dad's footsteps, Mission Impossible, to be as good as he was?
Well, you know, at first I wanted to do everything but this, because, quite frankly, I've gotten that question my whole life. And, you know, as a young, fairly strong young man, I wanted to do my own thing. Obviously, I am following in his steps to a degree, but I never got into it to try to eclipse anything he ever did, because there's no way I can hold a candle to him. He was a legend, and he did a great show with Mission Impossible, and I honor his legacy, and without him, no me, in many, many ways. So he really was a great, not only father, but mentor and trailblazer for me as a young African-American actor, and so I'm just happy that people even mentioned me in the same breath with him, and I really appreciate your question, because I love him, and he looks down on me and blesses me every single day.
We just got the one microphone in the back there? Okay. Well, as long as you're right there, there's a young fellow with the green shirt right in that row.
This question's for the Green Arrow.
Yes.
Can you really shoot a bow and arrow in real life?
I can shoot you right now, kid. Yeah, no, I can. I couldn't before the show. I took like a class in high school for like 2 weeks that you have to take, you know, right after swimming and right before basketball. So, and then, you know, you miss the little target and everything, but they had a guy, you know, I did like some really intense training, because, you know, you gotta look like you kind of know what you're doing, you know what I mean? So yeah, good question though, but yes, I can, thank you.
All right, Lisa needs some exercise. Go all the way in the back now. There's a little guy with a blue Superman shirt. That'll narrow it down a little bit. No, over the other way.
This is to Justin Hartley. What was your favorite part about being Green Arrow?
What is my favorite part about being Green Arrow? I like playing Oliver, to be quite honest with you, because I think the green, when I'm doing the Green Arrow thing, and, you know, killing bad guys or whatever, it justifies everything that Oliver kind of does. Oliver's not the, he's not that smooth around the edges, you know what I'm saying? So he's got some rough spots. So I think a lot of that is the reason he's able to get away with a lot of that stuff is because of the things he does as Green Arrow. But another really cool part about playing him is that I have a 4-year-old daughter. So I don't even tell her it's a show, I just tell her I'm a superhero. She doesn't know, so she's like, she goes to school and she's like, this is my mommy, she's an actress. This is my daddy, he's a superhero. And I'm in back room like, that's right. And I have superhero friends. I mean, so who's gonna argue, right?
Okay, next question. This lady with the yellow top right over here. A couple of rows.
Yes, also ask Beverly, did you really enjoy doing Star Trek with everybody, all the cast on Star Trek?
I love doing Star Trek. When I did it, it was the original one in the 2nd season. So it wasn't really all that, big. I had no idea then, 42 years ago, that it would go on to be such a huge phenomenon now and be all over the world. And I don't know if any of you saw that particular episode. It was the Deadly Years, where we all get old, and I died of old age. Did you see it? Thank you.
We're not applauding because you died of old age.
At least I got to die in Captain Kirk's arms, so it wasn't a total. But you know what I couldn't figure out? Is I died and I wasn't even wearing a red shirt. So...
Now, Phil, you did the original series as well. What was your experience like back in the day?
I did the episode Neary with Kim Darby and Michael J. Pollard, and it was great. That was a bit of a stunt casting. They used a lot of the kids that were the offspring of actors that were on the set. So I was in it. My sister Iona was in it. Martin Landau and Barbara Bain's daughters were in it. William Shatner's daughters were in it. And so it was an amazing time. I mean, they wanted kids that knew how to handle themselves on a set, but weren't actors. And who better than actors' kids who have been around the business forever and knew when to be quiet, knew when to spout out. It was a really it was like going to a club. It was like all of us kids would meet up in the kind of extras tent. We'd have like punch and Kool-Aid, they'd give us all that cool stuff and sugar us up and then send us out. It was a great time.
And you got to sit in Captain Kirk's chair, and I'm very jealous. So.
Absolutely.
All right, next question. How about this lady with the brown top right over there?
This is for Lois Lane. And I want you to say one time, my favorite part of Superman was when you would always say, and just where were you at, Clark? Can you say that?
Well, let's see. Oh, Superman, where were you when we needed you? And Clark, where were you?
All right, Lisa, why don't you come on down this way? We'll give some people on this end a little an opportunity here. How about this young guy right here with the red shirt?
This is for Mr. Justin.
You can just call me Justin.
Do you think you'll ever have your own show?
Yeah, well, God, I hope so. Eventually, yeah, I would hope so. I don't know what it would be, but what would you like it to be? Let's do it. I'll call Santiago, and we'll just. Yeah, I hope so. I think as an actor, you're so focused on what you're doing, you don't really think about. You kind of think about what you're going to do next in between jobs. So when you're on a job, you kind of just start thinking about that job. At least that's, how I think it should be. So we'll see what happens. I know I'd like to do a comedy. I would really, really like to do a comedy. So maybe something completely different. We'll see.
You're the best.
Thanks, man.
All right, this young girl down here with the green fan, she's been waving that thing furiously for an hour. Give me a good breeze, so in appreciation.
Thanks. Okay. Sorry. Justin, I was wondering what we can expect for season 9 of Smallville.
Well, you know, I had a meeting the other day with the producers, and it's going to be a lot. I mean, it's going to be a lot about, I think, finishing a lot of things that have been built up throughout the course of the series. Hopefully, they'll be bringing him back, maybe diving into him a little more. And we'll see. I mean, obviously, the show's about Clark's journey, and you know, it's been this build up for so many years, and it's getting to the point where it's like, it's coming time, you know. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that, and then everybody else's character. You know, I really didn't get into any of that. I think maybe they're gonna break me down a little bit, see what happens, see if I can go even darker. I'll be so dark, I'll be like purple. I don't know, but yeah, no, we'll see. Hopefully they throw a little comedy in there too. You know, I think it would be funny as a comedy, Smallville the comedy. All right.
That's Metropolis.
That's Metropolis.
All right, hands, please. How about this fellow right over here? Say your spot here.
What was George Reeves really like? Opinions vary.
Well, George is a wonderful person and a good actor, of course. He paid attention to what he was doing. There's that one movie that came out made him a drunkard and a womanizer, which he certainly wasn't. Like to have a martini occasionally when things went wrong. And he had a lady he'd been going with for about 13 years, so everything was cool with him. We miss him. Lord, we miss him. Thank you.
So Justin, when things are wrong on the set, do you slink off and have a martini?
I like to celebrate when things are going well, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm drunk right now. I'm just kidding. Tipsy.
All right, let's see some hands. Who else has a question? We got all kinds of questions over here. Lisa, why don't you come over? I see these big hands sticking up over the top. I'll just hand it on over.
And this for Justin, can you show us a favorite Green Arrow do?
Favorite Green Arrow? Oh my God, I don't do it out of the costume. I got a thing. I don't do it out of the costume.
You do it anyway.
I can't do it out of the costume.
It's a contractual thing, right?
What's that?
It's a contractual thing.
It's a contractual thing, yeah. Do I know? I don't have my costume with me. I don't.
All right, just hand it over to the next fellow there.
Mr. Hartley, how did you get to be the Green Arrow?
What?
How did you get to be the Green Arrow?
Well, let's see. First, you know, where are you?
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm a little short, though.
I can hear you. But...
I'm right here.
Gotcha. I did a. You know what? I did a pilot for the creators of Smallville. They were doing a different show, and I ended up doing the pilot for them. And then the pilot didn't go, which, you know, often a lot of pilots don't go. And then they called me later on, maybe like I think it was a couple of months later, they called me and said, we have this role for you, you know, we'd really like you to do it, here's what it's about. And so it was great for me because I hadn't gotten offered a lot of stuff at that point. I was auditioning, constantly trying to get the job. So when someone was like, I've got this offer for you, I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even know like how that worked. I was like, offer? What is that all about? Usually I have to go in and meet like 300 people. But so that's how that happened. It was the same folks.
Oh, so they just handed it right to you and said, your cast, it's yours.
Yeah, I didn't even really have to work for it. It was like, lucky me. No, I had done a lot of work for them on the pilot, and I think from that they said, well, this guy would be fine for this. So.
Okay, okay, might as well keep the microphone. Somebody's over there. Just. I want that thing to come back, though.
My question is for Phil. How has the Martian Manhunter's character being killed in the comic books affected your career, if at all?
Well. You know, it has affected it. I have been in this genre for a while. I've done a lot of Star Treks. So in the sci-fi action adventure genre, I've kind of jumped all over it. This is my first foray into live action comic book superhero portrayal. I've done a lot of it voiceover-wise. That's been great. But it brings, you know, what the networks and studios don't realize is how fervent and loyal and honest and honorable you fans are when it comes to what we do. And as I've said to people who we've been signing, and I've said to people, without you, there's no us. And that's absolutely true. And I found that especially strong in this comic book area. So my career has been affected mainly through the fan base and how they've supported my work with that, and then they've gone on and seen me in Seinfeld, and then they come back and they go, man, we had no idea that you were that funny or whatever. So it really kind of gives the fans another perspective on who I am as an actor. And as a comic book freak, which is what I am, I honor playing John Jones because I honor the fandom of comics. I honor the medium and the genre of comic books. So, you know, for me, it's a great honor to play him, you know, and in a way that I think other actors may not feel that because they didn't grow up with comics the way that I did. So I'm digging it big time. That's pretty much how it's affected my career. I just love it. One more over there? Okay.
My question is for all you guys. Is there any like good things you got off set or like souvenirs that you guys keep in your houses?
Would you?
Bodies.
Yeah, I guess we'll start with you, baby. You got any souvenirs at home?
I've got William Shatner at my house as we speak.
How about you, Noel? You got any mementos from back in the day?
Oh, just lots of them all over. It's nice. I fly and you run into people in different outfits and towns and whatever. And they bring you little things and you drag them home and plane.
Yeah, that's kind of the best stuff. The best stuff. I'm sorry, sweetie. The best stuff is that. The fans bring you something nice, or they give you a great drawing of your character, or some memento, or that you bring to us means way more to me than a studio sending me their obligatory gift to me. You know what I mean? It's like they said, well, that's more than a gift because I'm working for that. But you know, it's like that card that they send you for your birthday, or that means less to me than when I'm here and I get a photograph of my dad from you, or I get a drawing from a young man or woman, and you know, it just touches my heart. Those are the things that mean the most to me, for sure.
Can you top that, Justin?
It's true. It's true. I try to keep all that stuff. You know, all that I get, gifts that I get from people. I do have one thing that I took from my previous job. I was on a daytime show, and I took the lead actress, and I have her. I really do have a body.
All right, well, we're going to move on from that. At least I'll tell you what, why don't we head back that way? And while you're going that way, head towards the back, and I'll be with you in a second. Hey, Noel, now you've got your plaques, and you got your Guinness Awards, and you got your key to the city. Now you're getting a statue. I mean, how does that feel to actually have a statue erected in your honor?
They won't let me take him home. They don't know what to do with the one of me.
You don't have any other life-size statues of you anywhere around the country? Just this will be the first one,
That
right?
I know of.
So what's next? We're going to engrave your name on the moon or something? I mean, we're kind of running out of things to do for you.
Send me up there.
All right, yes.
May I ask a question?
It depends.
May I ask a question of Beverly, please?
Was that you, Lisa?
It's me.
Oh, hi, Lisa. Sure, go ahead. What do you?
In the movie Superman and the Lois Lane, you were a child actress. And it's my understanding that the ball that you roll, was it contaminated with kryptonite? And that's how we found out that Superman was allergic, if you will, to that? Is that my understanding?
I don't know, maybe somebody out there has the answer to that. I was so little. I just was thrilled to be there and play with the little mole men, and they were so cute to me, even though you could kind of see their skull cap, you know, and the zipper going up the back. All the makeup back in those days was not quite as good as it is today, but I don't know, maybe somebody out there knows the answer to that. Does anybody? What the ball was?
I'm told it's not true. I apologize.
Not true.
Oh, thanks, Lisa.
Thanks for clearing that.
Buzzkill.
Very good. Nice still going here too. All right. How about the young fellow right in front of you there with his hand up?
Thank you. And this is for anybody who could answer this. Because my family doesn't have a clue to this answer.
I'm not going to tell you where you came from, kid.
Why won't Superman fly in Smallville?
I think we'd all like to have the answer to that question.
Because, well, I'll tell you, my take on it is because he's Clark, you know? He's not Superman, he's Clark. So that's probably it. But we're closing in on that time, aren't we?
Well, you know, the creators said early on, no tights, no flying. And that was their edict on Smallville, because every other television show that showed Superman went right for the suit and all that. And what they were trying to do was create a reality around him, which I think was really successful. You know, even when he was gaining his powers, you know, every power that he kind of got was like a surprise. It was a shock. And it made it much more real. I think as soon as you put him in the primary colors and the cape and the tights and stuff, it kind of dilutes that or weakens that. So they're waiting for him to really go, hey, I am Superman, to fly. And we haven't gotten there yet. But we're trying to get him. Green Arrow and John Jones are trying to get him there quick, fast, and in a hurry. Trust me.
All right, next question. I see there's a fellow with a yellow shirt right in front of you here, Lisa. There you go.
Just got a quick question for Phil Morris. I was just wondering if you thought that they would ever move your character from the John Jones to the Martian Manhunter on the show.
You know, I kind of hope they do. You know, I mean, I love Michael Dorn as Worf, okay? And he wore that for years. So if it helped the character and helped the show, shoot, I'd pull a John Jones, double bandolero, big occipital lobe green guy. Dude, I played a Klingon. I was a Jem'Hadar. A Martian is a walk in the park.
All right, listen, let's head to the back corner over there. See a few hands up over there.
What is your favorite superhero?
The Green Arrow.
Martian Manhunter.
How about you, Beverly? Yeah, how do you feel about these guys?
Well, they're both hilarious. This is my first time meeting both of them, and this is really an honor for me too, because you're both hilarious. And it's just really nice to share this stage here, whatever, with all of them, including Noel. And Noel and I have a lot in common. First of all, we were born on the same day, November 25th. We both worked with George Reeves. Of course, I mean, mine was just a small part, but still. And we both were in The Greatest Show on Earth. And she's the only person I know that makes me feel tall. And I love her.
Okay, Lisa, where are you at now? Oh, you're way over there. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
This is for Mr. Morris. Since you worked with Jerry Seinfeld and he was a big Superman fan, do you still keep in contact about your Smallville progress?
You know, I left him a couple of messages. I didn't hear back from him, but Jerry and I both love some of the same things. We're big Superman comic book guys, and we're big, you know, race car guys and stuff. And you know, working with him on that show was just an honor. I mean, these are really strong professional actors. You want to work with the best people that you can in this game. And I couldn't have chosen people that were any better at their craft than to work with the Seinfeld crew. So I was really, again, happy to be involved in a show that a lot of people loved and took to heart. And I think that he thinks it's kind of cool that I'm doing Smallville, but I have not heard from him. No.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
This is for Justin. Which superhero did you like to play better, the Green Arrow or Aquaman?
Where are you?
Yeah, all the way in the back.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Okay. Well, I'd have to say Green Arrow. You know, I mean, I've had more time with it, and definitely just because you do more episodes, the writing, they're able to get, you know, dive more into the character and kind of break him down a little bit more and build him up a little bit more and play him with more depth. And you know, he's a very passionate guy, so I like that about him. But yeah, for me, it would be that would be my answer to Green Arrow.
So when you're doing when you get the script for the episode and you see, okay, this is a Green Arrow episode, and you get another script and it's kind of like, well, I stop in at the end and I tell Clark to get his stuff together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you'd think the obvious answer is, well, I like the big episodes because it's me, my face all over the place and everything. But is it easier to just kind of kick back and come in for a couple of days?
No, it's harder. It's much harder because if there's an episode where I'm in and just, you know, I'm in and out, and then I do like 2 of those episodes in a row. I've got a family back in LA. We shoot the show in Canada, so I go to LA. I'm just gone, and so then I'll come back and work for a day or 2, and then I'll go back to LA for another week. So it makes it harder for me to get into the character when he's just kind of sporadic, as opposed to being heavy throughout. It's hard not to be, you know, engrossed in the character, and just it becomes easier for me when I'm there all the time. You know?
Okay, Lisa, where are you at now? Wait, okay, yeah, go ahead.
This question is for Justin. Well, first of all, to all 4 of you, welcome to Metropolis, Illinois.
Thank you.
And maybe we can expect you back here next year.
You guys do this every year?
If they'll have me, I'll be here.
Oh, is that your question? Oh, yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great.
This is for Justin. Do you miss acting with Michael Rosenbaum?
No. I love Michael Rosenbaum. That guy, and I've said this before. I think for like maybe the first day I met him, I think I was like this. Because I thought, I mean, I go, dude, do you wake up every morning and like, does somebody like sketch you on a pad? Because you're like a drawing. I mean, the guy is one of the top, I'm not joking, top 5 funniest people I've ever met in my life. He is completely inappropriate all the time. And that makes him completely appropriate, right? For any circumstance. And he's a great actor, and he's the antithesis of Lex Luthor. But then he plays a really good Lex Luthor, and we have a ball. And he and I mean, you know, it's one of those guys that when you're around, your abs just kind of hurt. You know, Phil's another guy like that. But he's just a great guy, and I do miss working with him. Though. He's fun.
Okay, and yeah, go ahead.
This is for Mr. Morris. First of all, it's an honor to be with someone and see such great success come from you, that's a fellow geek of the genre.
Thank you.
And I was hoping that when you go back to Smallville, you could tell the producers that Noel hasn't made an appearance yet, and I know you, being a geek like me, understand the importance of that.
I do.
Okay,
I do.
That's all.
I will. I do, and I will.
Thank you. Oh, and Beverly, too.
Why, thank you. She said this because I was first in line yesterday morning, so thank you. That's awesome props. Thank you. It's such a honor to meet all of you. It's been so incredibly overwhelming right now. My question is, besides the numerous ones I was asking you guys, I'm so excited. was the fact that how hard is the stunts? Are they very tedious and strenuous? I mean, I know you have some stunt doubles, but compared to anything.
How hard are the stunts?
Right.
Well, it depends on the stunt. I mean, I do have a stunt double. He's excellent, and the poor guy. You know, I like to do all my own stuff, and there's certain things that there's certain things that I can't do because I'm not a stunt guy. I don't know how, and then there's also certain things that I could probably do, but they won't let me do. So if you can imagine, that leaves all the hard stuff for him, really. You know, all the dangerous stuff, and then all the fun stuff where my face is shown, it's me, you know, so yeah, I've actually got two guys that kind of pop in back and forth, and they're great. I mean, I'm horrified of heights, so we'll do a scene where I'm standing on the side of a building, and I'm roped onto the building, there's no way I can fall, and I'm dizzy, because I'm just horrified. But I do it because I think eventually I'll get over it. I haven't gotten over it yet. But these guys are standing up there joking around, talking, like it's nothing to them. It's a completely different craft. I have the utmost respect for those guys. And I mean, you literally, these are guys that you walk up to and you're like, so we're going to set you on fire today. And they're like, cool. Yeah, so the little ones are the ones you get hurt on. I don't know what your experience has been.
Well, you know, it's kind of the same. I don't do as many stunts as Justin does. I had one fight scene recently and got shot, but these guys are craftsmen. The stuntmen they're artists, and I would never take away their craft. And when it blends into, I'm a martial artist, so if it comes to fighting, I'm the one who's going to do it because I'm the one who knows how to do that as well or better than they can. And if it's going to represent me, I'd rather have me in there. But when it comes to the things that they do wonderfully well, I step back and take notes because Justin's right. They're like, you're going to fall out that building, roll, then we're going to put you on fire, and then...
We're going to kick you.
Yeah. Then you're going to get filleted by horses. And they're like, don't show your face. Ka-ching! So they really are a wonderful group. Stuntmen are phenomenal. Great energy too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Now, Noel, you did your own bit of stunt work, both in the Adventures of Superman series and of course all the westerns and stuff. You did your own writing and everything, right?
Yeah, I kissed the horse.
I don't think that's legal anymore, is it? Okay, but I mean, because you rode horses, you did, because for the production, especially on Superman, I mean, that was low budget, quick. They didn't really have a lot of stunt people. You really pretty much had to get in there and do it yourself, didn't you?
George did his. We had a wonderful stunt director there who directed all the, built the walls at night that he was supposed to break through in the daytime. But that's what led to martinis. No, they didn't break. They didn't break. But no, we didn't have much to do. Kellogg's wouldn't let us do any longer.
How about you, Bev? I mean, you must have had a tumble or two in your day, right? Stunt-wise, of course.
Most of the work that I did was as a child, and when you're a child in the business, they have what's called a welfare worker, and they're board-certified school teachers from the Los Angeles Board of Education, and they're on the set to make sure that the child is treated well, and they have to have 3 hours of schooling each day.
I shouldn't have had to continental breakfast, I'm sorry.
And so they make sure that everything is, you know, up to par. When I did an episode of Wagon Train, Ward Bond, who was the wagon master, who was a very, very nice man, and I adored him, but he was used to working with a lot of men. So he would swear a lot, and he didn't mean anything by it. It would just kind of roll out of his tongue, you know. And so, because I was a minor on the set, the welfare worker went to the director and said, if he uses one more swear word, I'm pulling her from the set. And she actually had that much clout that she could do that. So he came over and apologized, because he didn't really mean to do it. It was just he was used to being with a lot of guys. And so anyway, he never even said darn after that, and so I was able to work. But they don't really allow children to do stunts. So when I did The Lone Ranger, the feature film with Clayton Moore, there was a scene where I'm supposed to ride off on my pony, and I was just so dying to do that. And they actually wouldn't allow me to do it because of insurance purposes and because I was a minor. You know, I guess if I would fall off or whatever, it would be a problem. So they got a little person and dressed her up like me and put the wig on and everything. And so if any of you saw that movie, when you see me riding off into the sunset, it wasn't really me, it was my stunt double.
Speaking of riding off into the sunset, you mind sharing the story about Clayton Moore riding off into the sunset?
Oh. Yeah, I have sort of a funny story about Clayton Moore. He wore that very tight, you know, costume, and I guess he didn't want, how do I say this, visible panty line? I don't know how you say it.
That's how you say it.
That's not how you say it. But anyway, so he didn't wear any underwear. And so there's a scene, we filmed it in Kanab, Utah, and I get kidnapped, and of course the Lone Ranger and Tonto come to my rescue. And then he gets up on Silver and he rides off, and as he got up on the horse on Silver, his pants split open. So he had his bare butt hanging out. And so the director, as a joke, just let the film keep rolling, and so that they could show it in the outtakes. So the running gag on the set was the Lone Ranger was riding off into the sunset as he was mooning everybody.
Okay, where are we at with questions here? Okay, go ahead.
Question is for Justin.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering, on guest appearances, how do you find out where you all will be? I mean, I just found out Metropolis is close by, but where else do you appear? Do you have a certain amount of time you have to appear?
Do we have to?
Yes.
No. We don't. They don't make us. You know, it's all about kind of scheduling and what works out. And I mean, there are a lot of events I'm sure that actors would like to go to but can't, because you can't really say, hey, look, I'd love to shoot that scene, but gotta go to wherever. You know what I mean? But when you're off, I enjoy doing it just because. You know, you guys get to see us every week. You know, you sit down and watch us every week. We never get to see who watches the show. I mean, think about that. It's odd, right? We never get to see who watches the show. So, especially in this forum where we're actually talking about the show, usually if people come up and talk to you, it's just like, hey, how you doing? Here, people can actually talk about the show, and it's kind of, it's good for everybody. So I like to do them every once in a while, and I do Comic-Con. I try to do Comic-Con every once in a while, but it usually turns around to, you know, comes down to scheduling.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Actually, before we get started back there, I got a young fellow right up here that's been waiting.
Yeah, number 9.
When do you think Clark's gonna come to Metropolis?
What do I think, who?
Clark.
Tom? Well, I don't know.
You guys have put in a good word for us, though, right? Like how wonderful it's been.
Of course. This has been great. We've had a great time so far. But yeah, this is a wonderful event.
But remember that, you know, Tom he's the lead, and he works an incredible amount of hours, and his weekends are really, really precious. He's got a family as well, and he's trying to do the best job that he can for you guys. And sometimes that's all that a guy like that can do, because it's a great effort. It's a superhuman effort to do what he does. So I do talk to him about this, and he tells me to say, this is why I'm saying it, that he honors your viewership and your support. Just know that he's working as hard as he can to be the best Clark/Superman that you guys want, and that takes a great effort. So don't be too hard on him that he's in the show. He's really putting it out for you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
In the 50s, George Reeves directed a couple episodes of Superman, and I know some of the Smallville cast has directed some of the episodes. Does having one of the people who's in the show, directing the show, change the dynamics of how you work on the show? Is it better, worse, or any different?
I think it depends on who you talk to. For me, I have only been directed by, as far as actors go, on the show, by Tom and my wife. But Tom's the only one that's ever directed me on the show, and for me it's better because, you know, he's there all the time, so he gets it. He also knows the actors. He's not coming in for a week or two and going, I've got all these great ideas, let me put my stamp on the show. So his stamp is already on the show, and he also gets directing. He's actually good. He's very, very good, very easy to work with, and I mean, he comes in with an idea, and all you have to say is, well, I thought blah, 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 and literally whichever idea is better, that's what we're doing. I mean, it's like, there's no ego involved. It's not like, well, I thought this, or, no, he'll change everything and go, that's a better idea, let's do that. So, to have somebody like that, whether they're an actor first, or actor/director, or writer/director, just to have anybody like that is great, but to have somebody like Tom who's there all the time and gets the show, I think, better than someone who would come in for 2 weeks at a time. It just makes it easier on everybody.
Okay, we're getting close to wrapping it up here. Just a couple more questions. Who's got really good questions? Not that the other ones haven't been great. I'm just saying, who's got a smart question? Big no offense.
This is for Mr.
You're not
Morris.
helping. Sir.
Make it good.
I got frostbite at a local fast food conglomerate, and I'm looking for legal representation. What if you could assist me?
So you're the guy who got that one copy of Frostbite, huh? You're talking about the movie Frostbite, right? Yeah. We all have one of those, don't we?
Some of us have a couple.
It's a funny, I'm funny in it, you know, but I do know a good lawyer. I'll call him.
Okay.
This one's for Phil as well. You're a comic collector. Do you remember your first comic?
I do.
And it was?
1966, Cleveland, Ohio. My grandmother took us to a drugstore. It was Tales of Suspense with Captain America and Iron Man. They did a run of that until they broke those two off into their own books. And I think I have about 100 of those. But I've got 20,000 books, so it's a lot of books. I kept them all.
Okay, all the way in the back, Lisa, you got the microphone, do you? Any of those guys back there want to get in on this?
Yeah, I have a question for Phil Morris. Is there any possibility of the restoration of Martian Manhunter's powers?
I hope it is, thank you, yeah. I hope in season 9 that's kind of Clark helps her brother out there. I did lose them saving his life. I think they could kick me a couple more powers. You know, give me invulnerability. I'll just take a few. I don't need them all. But I like that he's kind of a mortal guy. I think it gives him another dimension to play as that character. So it's really cool. I couldn't have had that fight scene if I had my powers still, because I would have broken him. So it's kind of fun. I was hoping that they would give me more of that to do, so that, you know, I could use my martial arts skill and display that without really like killing anybody. With John's power, you know, which is like tantamount to Superman, big words again. I wouldn't be able to do as much. So I'm hoping that they just bring me back and let me play a little bit like the human John Jones, and then Clark and his wisdom and his largesse will help me out. We'll see.
All right, we're going to take one from back here, and then we'll go into the back room.
The question about directing leads into mind. Since Tom and Allison have both directed episodes, do either of you have aspirations to direct either Smallville or just direct in general?
Directing, not so much for me, and I don't know why that is.
I don't either. You'd be good, man.
I just have such respect for actors. I don't want to tell them what to do. It's like, it's a weird thing. It's like, I'm like, Justin, that was great, but listen, I got something better. I just have a hard time with that. But I do want to write. I've written an episode. I've written a pilot for a John Jones spin-off. We'll see if they want to do that. So I'm very much into writing. I would love to produce projects and bring great projects to the screen. But directing, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'd be good at it, but it hasn't really hit me yet. Maybe one day.
Okay, now this breaks my heart to do so, but these guys have been very generous with their time. Last question. In the back.
Hi, thank you very much for the last question. I know we've all really enjoyed hearing you.
Make it a good one.
Justin, I was curious. Do you feel that you relate better to the Green Arrow or to Oliver Queen?
Oh, that's a good question. Boy, it depends on the kind of day he's having, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm flipping through and I'm like, oh, okay, but whoa, he's not having a good day today. I mean, was that necessary? Okay, well, we'll do that then. You know, probably Oliver. Probably Oliver. Although I do like, yeah, wow, it's tough, because then I think about being a dad and it's more like Green Arrow. Man, it is tough. I will tell you this though. How about I tell you how I can relate to both of them? How about that? So, for Oliver, for me, is great because here's this guy who, on the surface, right, he's a billionaire and he's got this and he's got that, and you look at him and you go, wow, well, everybody wants to be that guy, or wow, I'd love to be that guy, and he's just a tortured soul, right? He's missing his parents and he feels responsible for so many things and he's just burdened. And then what appeals to me about Green Arrow is the fact that he's mortal. And I always liked Batman, and so for me, it's cool to see some guy go out there, and this is a guy who's really putting it out on the line, right? I mean, he could really actually die if he's shot. He could get injured. So he's not like, you know, impenetrable. And so for me, the vulnerability, I guess on both sides of that is what kind of appeals to me. I'm a vulnerable guy.
All right, thank you very much. Let's thank Justin, Phil, Noel. Thank you very much, guys, for coming in. Folks, there's so funny to see and do at the Superman celebration. If you have not picked up your brochure yet that lets you know the schedule of events, be sure to get one. They're located all around town at the Chamber of Commerce. Enjoy the rest of your day, drink lots of water, and we'll see you. Thanks.